What is good, yo? What is good? It's your boy King Barco here at the Too Easy Podcast. And before we get started, I guess happy belated Halloween or however you guys say it. I don't know what the saying is for the day after Halloween, but happy belated Halloween or whatever. But yeah, it's your boy King Barco, and I got more or less like an instructional or educational like video for y'all. And it's mainly going to the people that are new to the channel or new to our content and don't really know what this content really is. And so a lot of people get shocked and when they see our stuff and then they start looking at us crazy or start messaging us and saying some crazy things. And matter of fact, that's actually the reason why I made this video. So overall, this past week, matter of fact, just this month alone, we got 20 plus messages from multiple platforms like, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, people saying crazy stuff, or I think we even got a death threat, from my understanding. From one of my messages I saw, somebody said something crazy. So we even got a whole death threat this past month, so which is not bad because we usually get crazy amounts of death threats. But overall, yeah, there's quite a bit of people with messages that are unhappy about a podcast. They're saying that because of our podcast, it affected their life personally. And so I was like, what? And that's where I was confused. I was like, you probably didn't even read the description of this podcast. And so this is for those people who haven't read the description of our podcast. We're very politically incorrect. We usually tell the truth, but sometimes we joke around and say this and that. And we say a lot of things. We joke around a lot. We usually don't care, especially about, what people think about us. I mean, as a policy, it is our job, especially as a comedian. You cannot care if people get offended. That should be like a main policy. I heard this from another comedian, and it got me thinking, like, you should not care if you offend anybody, because at the end of the day, they're the ones consuming your content. And so usually I don't care. But when I see that there's a lot of people that are confused about what our channel is or what it's supposed to be, we are not a self-help channel. We are not a motivational like channel. I mean, sometimes we do talk motivation and motivational like things. We are not a kids channel. There were some parents that messaged us, and we're definitely not a channel that lies to you too. I guess that's one of the positives. We're very raw. We tell the truth, and sometimes we get very goofy and talk a lot of crap that you guys may not want to hear. And so this is my message to those people, is that pretty much if you do not like our content, or if this ain't the content for you, then maybe the best thing for you is to not consume or watch our podcast or our content. If it ain't for you, because we speak the truth, we're very raw, we're straight to the point, we're a Hennessy on Sunday night, we're not a vodka martini on Friday night. We're very raw. We're that sip of Hennessy that most niggas drink before they start wanting to fight a nigga. And so you gotta understand that whenever you consume any content, you gotta look at the description, see exactly what their content is. Because if you just come into our podcast willy-nilly and then you get shocked and you get feelings hurt and then you come to us about it, I'm probably not gonna care. Like, straight up, I'm probably not gonna care. And so I'm just putting this warning label out there for everybody. Do not bring your family. Do not watch our podcast with your family unless your family is ready for what we got to talk about, because we speak the truth and we keep it real. And then we're very comedic as well, and very goofy. And not many people can handle the truth and comedy at the same time. Some people can't handle it, and they get their feel. And and at times we can be offensive. And honestly, I mean, regardless of what anybody says, if you're in the comedy business, you're gonna offend somebody. And so I've just learned to accept it and move on. And so I feel like people need to learn to accept that and move on as well. Like I said, if you don't like our content or if our content's not for you, I suggest you move on. It's that simple. It's the most logical thing you could probably do. Just move on. Because we're not going to stop our content. You're not going to threaten us. You're not going to, force us to stop doing what we're doing. And, like I said, we already been canceled multiple times. There's female groups, that tried to cancel us on Spotify, and Spotify sent us a message, saying that they're not canceling us and they like our content and whatnot, or something like that. And then there was, if I'm not mistaken, a ban on us. So I don't know how true this is, but supposedly we're banned in the UK. On Spotify, I don't know if the ban got lifted. We never got no message or anything like that. So I don't know. But after that, we stopped posting on Spotify, really. And we just stuck strictly on YouTube. And so I'm going to start posting on Spotify again pretty soon. So just stay tuned for that. But overall, we're not stopping what we're doing. And yeah, I guess that's kind of funny with the Spotify thing, us stopping. But overall, but yeah, we're not stopping anything. We're going to keep it trucking, and we're going to keep it real. If you cannot handle it, I suggest you unfollow, unsubscribe, and leave, and don't consume our content. Because we're going to keep going, and we're going to be very raw, unfiltered, unapologetic, politically incorrect, misogynistic at times maybe. And we're going to keep it trucking. So if you do not like our content now and you probably hate watching, and if you want to hate watch, that's up to you. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. But I suggest you move on and find somebody else. Especially for those that hate watch. It's always been weird to me for people that hate watch. That never made sense. You're watching what another man's doing, what other man's doing for his business. That never made sense to me. It's always weird watching haters. But I love them regardless because they click onto our channel to hate watch, or they give us love and everything. And hey, that's cool. I love y'all too. I love the haters just as much as I love the people that love us. It's a love-hate relationship, but hey, I don't hate nobody. We love it all. And when me and my brother started this podcast, we promised to be as unfiltered, and we promised that there will be no limit on this podcast. And that's where we're going to keep it. Exactly the way we started. Now, I ain't going to lie, if we get some big bucks sponsors hitting us up, I ain't going to lie, we're probably going to sell out. But overall, we're going to keep it as unfiltered and true to itself as possible. And we're going to continue to do that. If we do get canceled, hey, we'll keep it pushing, and we'll find other ways to come back. You can't take us out forever. But overall, we're going to keep it pushing. And this is pretty much a warning label. From here on out, I'm not going to inform nobody or tell anybody. It is what it is at this point. So, for those that watched all the way through, I appreciate you. Hopefully you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go check us out. We're going live today, by the way. So, check us out. And possibly, just a little rumor, but we might go live on TikTok today as well. So, stay tuned, y'all. Much love.